Okay, it's your YouTube friend Chris Palmer coming back. I've got my son with me, Christopher Palmer, and we got some talking points to do. We're going to touch on Nancy Pelosi. We're going to touch on some things that Mitch Mcconnell said to a reporter that asked him some questions. And we're going to touch on Eric. He was a former Navy SEAL, and he was the governor of Missouri. And we're going to talk, and when we touch on him, it's going to be on how big business actually run him out of being governor. And that's sad. When big business can run you out of a government office, that is crazy, because he was making everything great for the people in that state. But back to Mitch Mcconnell. Some smart butt reporter come across and asked if they were fraud in his election too. You know, joking about the presidential election and stuff. And Mitch Mcconnell, he come out and said, no, I actually won by a whole lot. So he pretty well got that reporter on her trying to get him to say something about fraud. But as it goes with Nancy Pelosi, that woman has tried to stop Trump from going. She's trying to push Biden in office. That's what's going on with her. She's trying like everything to push him in there. Even though the Electoral College has not ruled on the election, she is still trying to have him put in the White House. And that's should be illegal all in its own. And I mean, even my son knows that the election is not over until the Electoral College says it's over, once they count the votes and everything. And Nancy Pelosi's trying to push Joe Biden in the White House, and it's just not going to happen. That's just not how it goes. But on the Trump issue, she has been trying to impeach Trump since day one. But she tried to impeach him on Russian collusion, and that was, I think it was a $38 million witch hunt. That's basically what it was. That's how much it costed for them to go through all the legal fees and stuff. $38 million of our taxpayer money wasted.
Dang.
Yeah. Now,
that should be illegal altogether.
It should be. When they found nothing, when they couldn't find anything, they should have took it out of her salary. But you know how much she makes a year, bub?
How much?
She makes $173,000 a year. But my question on that, if she just makes $173,000 a year,
yeah,
how in the world is she worth over $3 or $4 million? That's what I think. I looked it up. I think she has like $1 million or $2 million mansion in California. That's who she's a congresswoman for, is California. The place where they have tent cities and people shitting out on the streets, and you can go by and watch them shoot up drugs and all that stuff. Now that's her place that she's been a congresswoman for. So tell me how tent cities, shitting on the street, and shooting up drugs helps the community. What would you think of we live in Tennessee, and there's none of that crap goes on here. I mean, it's just not, it don't happen. I mean, that you walk around, you see, I mean, just clean, pretty stuff. I mean, I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to spin it around. I'm going to show you. You see trees and fields and, I mean, all kinds of, there's our American flag hanging out that we love. And you look back through here and you'll see more green. I mean, just all around us. Just a nice lower middle class neighborhood that we live in. And we're not rich by no means. I mean, me myself, I probably make under $35,000 a year because I'm disabled. And my wife, she quit with that. She makes, I think she's on set to make like 45,000, maybe 50,000 a year, and she works at JTech. And I mean, we're just the common American family. But when you go to Congress, you're supposed to go there to change things. When you, to me, I don't think Nancy Pelosi has been out of Washington and walked through the streets of her district since she got there. Because, let me ask you, bud, if you were a congressman and you were, say, for California, you're a congressman for California, and you went to California and you walked through there and you seen the tent cities and the drug use and people shitting on the streets and pissing in the streets and stuff like that, what would you think?
I would think that I was doing a very, very bad job at something.
You'd think that you wasn't doing the job you were supposed to be doing, right?
Yes.
But for some reason, this Congress, here's our dog Midnight. He's a little dog that we got a while back. But when you do a piss poor job of running your district and you have people shitting in the street and tent cities where nobody is working because the unemployment rate is sky high in California. My cousins moved from Oregon down to California. One of them's an architect and the other one is an orthodontist, and I can't remember what the other one does. There's three of them, and they found a nice neighborhood. I'm sure it's not in Nancy Pelosi's district because of all the drug use and stuff like that. And the thing on Oregon I read where they decriminalized hard drugs like cocaine and heroin and stuff like that. That's insane to me. In Tennessee, we don't do drugs like that. We don't decriminalize stuff like that. You do it, you go to jail. You pay the piper for what you've done if you get caught for it. But as in Nancy Pelosi, she has tried everything in the world to get Trump out of office. I mean, everything she can think of. All it's been is one big witch hunt from the time that Trump laid his hand on the Bible and swore to uphold the Constitution. She has tried to impeach him, and she's tried to say he paid $750 on his income tax return, and with him making that much money and the many businesses that he owns, there's no way in hell I paid more in federal income tax than that, and it's crazy. And she gets on the Senate floor and she says that if any of the swing state politicians get blocked from being in the electoral college, that she is going to stop the Republicans from having any kind of seats in the electoral college, because she's afraid that Trump will win. Trump's going to win. And another thing's funny. Tennessee didn't have no problems voting on their voting machines.
No, they didn't.
None at all. But those swing states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, all those that use the machines that the Clinton Foundation had a part in, they were shareholders in that company. All those machines had glitches in them. And when I say glitches, son, I mean if you voted for Trump, it swapped it to Biden. So, and Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton is the Clinton Foundation. And they're Democrats. That's the one that Trump beat before.
Yeah.
That's the one that stood up in the hearing and said, what does it matter now about the dead soldiers that were in Benghazi that died? And you could see Tyrone Woodley's dad and mom sitting there back there just taking all this circus in that she had made out of Benghazi, when all she had to do was they called and asked for a simple flyover, which is a sonic boom to make the troops think that they had air support coming in so that they would go away from the embassy. And they would have took off from Italy, stopped in Turkey and hot fueled and made it over to Benghazi, flew over, sonic boomed it, and it would have been over. And they could have made it there in 3 hours. But no, it ended up being, the reason the movie is called 13 Hours is because they fought for 13 hours. Our ambassador was killed because of this stupid ass woman. She did not care about any of the Americans that was there. And then when she got in front of the committee that was questioning her about it, she said, what does it matter now with their big old bug eyes? If I would have been Tyrone Woodley's daddy, I would have got up and I would have punched that bitch right in the face. I'm just gonna tell you what it would have been. If it would have been you over there and it would have happened, Hillary Clinton would have been laid out cold on the floor because I would have knocked her flat out. I mean, there's no sense in politicians not taking the consequences of their actions. And the people's tired of it. The people's tired of watching all the politicians do all this shady shit and not getting nothing done to them about it. We're tired of it. And Nancy Pelosi, you know, those machines that I was telling you about, those all had the glitches that swapped. I got off topic because it pisses me off about the Benghazi incident. But we'll get back on topic on those machines. Tennessee had no problem because we didn't use those machines. But they strategically placed those machines in the swing states. That way that the votes for Trump would go to Biden. What do you think about that? If it was just those states they put those machines in, why would you think they put them in there for, bud?
Probably because they could have used, if they wanted one guy to become president and they didn't want the other guy, they could have made all the votes in that state go to that other guy.
Exactly. And this is coming from my 12-year-old son.
11.
Or 11. He'll be 12 next year. I'm sorry. My bad. He just had his birthday. October 16th. So even he knows that they put those machines in those swing states to push the vote for Biden. And Nancy Pelosi, with her threatening not to let the Democrats in the Electoral College and stuff, or the Republicans in the Electoral College and stuff, they should take her from being Speaker of the House, because we need some new blood in there. We don't need the same witch hunt that happened in 2016. And that's what it's going to be when all the legal votes are tallied and everything. And Trump wins. And after all this, the Democrat saying that Biden's won and they're out celebrating in the streets, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. When they count all the legal votes and it's swapped over to Trump, they're going to riot. They're going to riot. They're going to burn down buildings, and they're going to burn down their own community's business, and as an act of protest against Trump. Now tell me what kind of people hype the people up trying to say that Biden has won, even though it's not the electoral college has not certified the election. That's fanning the flames of them rioting and stuff. Hell, they'll riot over anything. And so, what do you think about them fanning the flames of that? When Trump wins, and it turns out that Trump wins, what do you think? Just tell me your philosophy on it.
I think that they're trying to hype him up because when they figure out that Joe Biden has lost, they're going to get so mad because they thought that Joe Biden had won. But he's not going to win. So they're going to get mad and start going, and everyone that's voted for Joe Biden is going to start rioting and being all sorts of stupid. Probably go to jail, prison, life sentence.
They'll definitely go to jail because they burnt down businesses in Chicago and different stuff, even on election night.
That's an act of terrorism.
It should be. That should be an act of terrorism. And that's what the former Navy SEAL, Eric, that was the governor of the state of Missouri, he told them that looters and stuff like that, when stuff like that happened, they would go straight to jail. They would be a zero tolerance on looting and stuff like that. And big business run them out of the thing. And lobbyists is where they give money to the politicians for their campaigns and stuff like that. For their campaigns and stuff. But at one point, Biden had $300 million gave to him for his campaign. And you can't tell me that $300 million all went to that campaign. Because that's a bunch of bull crap if I've ever heard it. That's the biggest crap that I've ever heard. They take half that money, $150 million, they put it on the campaign, the other half goes in his pocket. That's how those senators that's only making $173,000 a year get rich. They go with big business. Big business comes up there and says, hey, if you lean this vote my way and make it better for me, I'll donate to your campaign and you can have the money out of it. That's called backroom shady deals. And that's basically what happens with Pelosi and all of the senators like that. And they put out a list of Republican senators that has not congratulated Biden for his win, even though the election has not been certified and over. There's court cases and court battles, affidavits over affidavits. Even Democrats come out and signed affidavits that they were pre-postmarking the ballots that come in. That's an illegal ballot. That means that you can't use that ballot. It should be thrown away. And I mean, when even the Democrats come out and say it, that should tell you something right there. And for all these news channels that says that they can't see any voter fraud, open your damn eyes. Go to YouTube. Go to any of the YouTube is a live video of some people filming them doing this with their cell phone cameras. You can't get away with stuff like that today. We have cell phone cameras. The people have cameras that we can film this and watch it and put it on YouTube. That way we know what's going on. All yins are doing right now is making us have no faith in the election process. It makes us think that our votes does not matter a damn bit, because if you want to rig an election, then it's going to be rigged. Even Joe Biden's, one of his, I can't remember, his staffers, quoted back in, I think it was 2014, all elections are rigged. I mean, he said it he tweeted it out. I'm pretty sure is what it was that I just got through reading. And, I mean, I don't know if he was hinting that this one's rigged too, but it just seems funny to me that all the machines that the Clinton Foundation and the Democrats had stock in went to the swing states that would mean the most for Biden. You know? Because Trump got Michigan last year, he got Wisconsin, he got Ohio, which he got Ohio this year too. And Georgia should have been Trump all the way. Georgia was Trump the last election. But for some reason, in Pennsylvania was too. And somehow a small county in Pennsylvania swung the election from the whole state. The whole state voted 90% of the state voted. I'm not misquoting stuff, but the majority of the state of Pennsylvania voted for Trump because of Joe Biden's no fracking law. That would mean that there would be millions of people out of jobs. That means that them doing the natural gas thing, they would shut all those plants down and all those people would lose their job. Now, if you were sitting there listening to a candidate tell you that he was going to stop what you're making your livelihood with, what you're making your money on, would you vote for that guy?
No.
No. Exactly. Even my 11-year-old son knows that you would not vote for him. And everybody knows that Pennsylvania voted for Trump. And all of this is a big scam. So everybody just lay back, chill back like Trump. Trump's been on the golf course hitting balls, relaxed, because he knows that he's got a team that's supporting him, that's making sure all the legal votes are counted, and making sure that all the illegal votes are taken out of the machine and all the glitches are fixed from those machines that the Democrats put in. I mean, hell, they even went as far as changing the election laws. And the New York Times even said in an article that mail-in voting is the easiest way, is the most fraudulent voting in the world. But yet the Democrats change all these rules to suit themselves in these states. And Mayor Giuliani even went over and went to court about letting the Trump observers get closer to the ballots, because they had them stuck like 100 feet away, and they're supposed to be close enough where they can read the name on the ballot and make sure it's a legitimate ballot. You know what I'm saying? And instead of having them where they're 6 feet away, even social distance, you can see 6 feet away if the name and the ballot's right. They wouldn't even let them do that. Some sheriff actually threatened to put them in jail at one time. And that was from an interview that I watched the Trump team that was there to observe. They told them they had no business in there, that there were too many people in the room, and it was due to the COVID laws and stuff like that. And we'll make sure the votes are good and counted. And that was the Democrats that said that. But
that's when you know they're gonna make it on the other person.
Exactly.
And if you think if someone thinks the actual glitch, and when you do one person, it'll go to the next person. Someone supports Trump, votes for Joe Biden. It's gonna stay there because they've rigged those machines.
Yeah, that's the glitch in the machine. It's not rigged. It's a glitch. Is what they're saying. But when they figure out all the glitches that happen, and the Trump team is going to have a tech guy come in and hook to the machines and see which ones that was actually touched Trump and then swap to Biden. And then they'll tally up all those votes.
And then they're going to see states red.
Exactly. And that's why I tell everybody, don't get upset about the way they're trying to push Biden into the White House. The news network people, I don't know what is wrong with you. I don't know if yous are retarded or what's going on. If yous have been hit in the head or what. You cannot call an election. You have no authority over the election process. All you can do is guess at who is going to be in the White House. And yous are shitty guessers. Yous said Hillary Clinton was going to win it by a landslide. And Trump beat Hillary by a landslide. And they ought to fire all of yous. And get people in here. I know your bosses that make billions of dollars tell yous to do this, or yous will be fired. And yous want your money and stuff. But for God's sake, have some damn dignity. Have some damn pride in what you're doing. I'm doing this for free. I want the truth to be out there. I want the truth. I'm going to the Loudoun County Election Commission on Monday morning, and I'm talking to them, and I'm going to interview them and see what they think about how our machines counted them perfect, and the machines that was up in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and all them kept swapping it to Biden and stuff. But enough of our ranting today. This is Chris Palmer from Tennessee and Christopher Palmer from Tennessee, and we're out until the next video. Hopefully I'll do another one tomorrow. And for all of you that know about my knee surgery, I'll show you it's doing really well. I mean, it's a little swollen and stuff, but I've been making it where it's I messed that up, but I've been keeping eyes on it and stuff like that. But we're going to end this and take it easy, and we'll have another one hopefully tomorrow for you to listen to. But this is Chris and Christopher. We're out.